Hey, what's up, Bruno? Thanks, man. What's up, Serge? I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, I'm back, Carlos. Thanks, Marco. Yeah, glad to be back. All right, I'll give it just a little bit, and then I'll get right into it. But yeah, so it's been quite the adjustment, quite the transition. Going, blowing up like 350K, which was basically everything I had, which was pretty terrible. Honestly, it was rough. I'm not gonna lie. It was a tough time, but I pulled myself together, refunded my account over PDT so I can trade. Got my head back in the game. Adjusted my strategy a little bit to be more more risk focused, more just on the side of risk management instead of trying to make as much money as I can. I was trying to become a millionaire as quickly as possible, but obviously that's not the right mentality to have when you're a trader, especially when someone who doesn't have as much experience. I'm only 2 years in. So even though I studied my butt off, I did everything I could. I've been doing this full time. I still don't know everything, and I can't think that I know everything. So, but I'm good now. I got my head back in the game. I'm now focused on risk instead of trying to make as much money as possible. So, and sizing obviously is going to be a little bit different this time around. A bunch of things are going to be different this time around. But yeah, I'm back, and I'm here to stay. I ain't going anywhere. I just needed a little bit of break to kind of figure everything out, and then I get back on track. So yeah, that's a little update on me and why I was gone, if you guys didn't know. But okay, let's get right into it. Mule, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah, and it's tough not to try to think of it that way. Like, I want to make it all back because, that's a lot of money to make back, especially in a short period of time. So I'm just gonna, honestly, I thought about it, and it's like, to be honest, like making just $1,000 a day in the market is like, it was still a lot of money. Like, even in the US, that comes out to like 20K a month. Very few people make 20K a month. So like, if I take things in perspective, it's okay. Like, that's, yeah, it's not $1,000 day is nothing to what I used to be able to make, but in perspective, it's still a lot of money at the end of the day. So so that's kind of what I'm keeping in mind. So not gonna try to make everything back right away. Anyway, CBAT, huge squeezer, huge breakout over this $4.5 level. And in the last few days, we've had more and more volume. So we basically ran from this day, so yeah, 4 to about 12 because it went a little bit higher after hours. So we got a 300% move overextension with 3 green days, technically 2. And so this is a nice first red day setup. We're gapping down 20%, which is quite a bit. JB, I'm in Washington State, but not in Seattle area. But still, anywhere in the U.S., 20K a month, 20K a month, multiply that out by 12 months, you got 240 at the end of the year, which is a lot of money. So regardless of where you live, 240 is a very good income. Anyway, so CBAT, this one was tough because we've got it's kind of like a short squeeze mode. It's not necessarily just like a runner for multiple days. You get the breakout short squeeze, this day, right? And then it comes back, and then gaps up, and then it squeezes, and then it gets stuffed, fails, almost the $11 area, but then it holds, and then a huge squeeze short into the afternoon yesterday. So this is, you're right, this is, JB, you're right, this is a tough first red day. This is not ideal by any means. So I'm going to be waiting for the open. I'm not touching it until then. But if we can get a move to $10, $10.50, fail off of this $11 area or so, and then we start start seeing backside, then I would take that trade short, risking 1140. Hoping to make the support area. We got a couple levels of support. We got the first one here at like this $9 level, and then we got this next one at $7. So I'd be looking to to cover down here in the 7s. So if you're taking let's say entry is at 10, risking $1.50 and trying to make $3, that's 2-to-1 risk reward. That's pretty good on a good setup, because today we aren't tracking for very much volume at all. But again, so I'm assuming it's going to fail because it's failing now, and it's below this list $10 key level here. If obviously we reverse and hold and keep going, then obviously just stick to your risk and get out. You can even get out earlier, but that's my plan on CBAT. The other one is just quickly see if there's anything else. LXRX. Quite a decent push. Didn't quite expect this strong of a move, but I should have, just because we were tracking for quite a bit of volume pre-market. But as we can see, just going back on the daily, we got this 20 mil volume day here, topped out, failed, gave it all back, gap and crept, and then we got this just over 15 mil day, which also failed here. So we have plenty of resistance here in the 220s, 230s, I would say. Going back a little bit further, you can see 230 is kind of a top, and that's where it kind of stopped at, pre-market 236, and it looks like it may have topped out here in the 220s. This secondary push. I'm risking this $236 area, and this is not an ideal setup, so I'm in small size. I'm risking $500, and I entered here into just over VWAP here, and my plan is to obviously cut it if it breaks 236, the pre-market high. But if it doesn't and it stays heavy, then maybe I'll scale in just a little bit, just to kind of better my average. But that's once backside confirms. But again, we have a pretty big volume today, 17 mil. But again, this is a lower priced stock, so I'm also not expecting, like, there's not a lot of dollar volume going in, so I'm not expecting this to be a crazy big runner, but it could be. But again, that's why my risk is 236. So that's that. And everything else, I don't. SQBG, obviously it failed. I was hoping for it to push to, it would have been a perfect bounce plus gap. Not perfect, but it would have been decent if we could have at least tested the $12 level. 12, 13, 14 would have been nice, but now it's kind of done. I think the only other one that I'd be looking to get into would be Mogo. We failed here, and we got plenty of we got plenty of resistance in this $2 to 250 level. So from this day here, a little bit of volume in here in these areas, and then obviously most of it from the past couple of days or last week or so. And it's failed here. So today, obviously, if we can get a push, maybe VWAP level, maybe this 240, 230 level out of the open, that would be great. And then look for, confirm backside. So that's it that I have on with my plan for this morning. I'm really not trying to like trade everything anymore. I'm trying to take like the best trades that I can see. Set my risk first, and then adjust my size according to that. Instead of, I used to just be like, okay, this is an ideal setup. I'm just gonna throw in like 50 to 100,000 shares, and I didn't even think about like when I first became consistent. That's how I traded. I set my size according to my risk. So if I was like risking $500 or $1,000, then I'd adjust my size to that, depending on the percentage of the risk and things like that, right? But then I kind of steered away from that, like slowly, just because I was taking more and more size, I was pushing everything, and I was trying to be really aggressive, and I kind of forgot about that. And there's times where, like, if I'm taking, let's just say 50,000 shares, and then and my risk is like 25%, I'm not really okay with taking that loss, which is what happened a lot of the times. I wasn't okay with it, and so that's why I took a lot of big losers more recently, because I didn't adjust my size according to my risk. I just took like a set number of shares no matter where it was in the chart, which was really stupid of me, but I learned my lesson. So anyway, that's it on my plans for this morning. Let's see if there's any questions. Any dilution on LXRX? I don't I looked into it. LXRX. I mean, they have an S3 but it's native effect. They have 100 mil S3 remaining. Let's see that. Yeah, so they have some dilution, but they're not a terrible company though either. If you look at their financials, let's see. Yeah, well, they used to lose money every year, but this year they actually made money, so they're not the worst. And then they have positive financial ratios. I mean, it doesn't really mean much, but they're not losing money, so it's like not the worst company there is. So, but that's why I'm only risking $500, which isn't a whole lot, but it's more of like I'm taking a 2-to-1 risk to reward trade, which isn't that bad. Charlie, you're scared of the LXRX lawn. Yeah, I'm not lawn it either, so yeah, at least you're on track. CTIB, that one was nice. I wanted to short it here in the $3 area. I only saw it in the 280s, just because that's when I wake up. But just because of this, resistance here in the mid 3s to high 4s, or to mid 3 to 4s. But shares were like 50 cents, so it was just too expensive. So I passed. Josh, top 1% money. Yeah, exactly. 1K a day. I mean, when I started out, 1K a day was the dream. I couldn't even imagine trying to make 1K a day. So got to keep things in perspective. Yeah, and that's it is top 1%. So, but in the markets, like 1K a day is not that much. Like even if you have a account just over PDT, you can make 1K a day. As long as you know what you're doing, as long as you have a good win rate. So, what do you think about David? What do I think about SRRK? That's the one that kicked me in the butt before. I remember this one. Remember, I didn't like it. It's finally coming down after like a month. But yeah, I got squeezed on this. I lost overall over the course of 2 days. I think I lost 30 or 40 grand on it. It was stupid, and that's what I mean. Like, I was like on non-ideal trades. I was taking full size, which was dumb. But it's coming down now. Like, yeah, if we can break this $38 level, then we've got downside down to like, I mean, I have to look at the intraday chart for some support levels, but I would say at least, oh, I remember 32 was the key level. So down, you can take it down to at least $30. It's gonna come down. But you know, we have to, and it looks like it's already coming down. So yeah, I mean, this could be a good trade, a good short swing. But again, don't call me on this because I don't trade billion caps anymore. So, Grizz, how often did you trade this month? Well, I took a week off, almost a week off. Yesterday was my first full day. Thursday and Friday, I took like a trade or two here. It was like later in the day. I didn't wake up pre-market or anything. I wasn't up early. I just like later in the day I saw a trade. And then the first week of the month I traded too. So I don't really know. I trade every day, but I just took a break after I blew up. Yeah, and then there's that. Yeah, Boyan, you're right. And then there's that 50 mil ATM as well. What's up, Preston? Thanks, man. I'm glad to be back. Nelson, yep, I'm back, man. Stock, glad to see you too in here. What's up, Tom? What's up, Simon? Okay, that's it. If there's any questions, anything else, I'll give it like 30 seconds for maybe any last minute questions, but that should be it for today. And then I'll see you guys back tomorrow morning. Same thing every day. All right, guys, later.